Atta winced and looked down. He then whispered, "That's not metaphoric, brother. That's that's stupid." A look of horror filled the big eyes of Ziad, who once mimed throat cutting. Ataf went on and said, "A woman doesn't have sperm." "Right," said Ziad. "But women do discharge during sex. I've heard they do. So it's metaphoric, like when Allah's apostle, may Allah pray on him and give him blessing, said the sun seeks permission to rise again." Ataf cried out as if stabbed again. He then cried out with anger and frustration, "How is that metaphoric? How? Why should the sun ask something it doesn't need to ask? Why?" Muhammad Yesua Yasir at the steering wheel looked afraid for the way his brother Muslim was acting. To calm him down, he said, "Brother, you shouldn't ask such questions. Allah, praise be to him, wants us to have faith in him. If he wrote all the hadith, clear, like he did with Quran, we'd all believe in it. There would be no kafir, no infidels, which would go against prophecy, for all kafir are destined for the fire. How can all kafir be destined for fire if they saw Quran as clear signs like we see them?" "Do we? Do you see them as clear signs, brother?" asked Thayer Thaqib softly. "Do we? Do you see them as clear signs, brother?" asked Thayer Thaqib softly, sitting in the front passenger seat. "The Quran says it's clear signs, so I believe that they are clear signs," said the van driving Yeshua. But do you believe them to be clear signs handed down, like Quran says?" asked Atif, his face on the verge of crying. "Yeah, but do you believe them to be clear signs handed down, like Quran says?" asked Atif, his face on the verge of crying. "Do you see them as clear signs yourself?" Muhammad Yeshua Yasir, the van driver, looked back and said, "Brother Atif, I think you might be turning into a kafir. Questions you are asking are kafir questions." Muhammad Thaqib, sitting in the passenger seat, asked, "You didn't answer his question. Do you believe Quran is as it says, clear signs?" "Well, do you believe they are?" "Well, do you believe they are?" asked Yeshua, looking horrified that they might be in testing mode to see who was a Muslim and who wasn't. Muhammad Yeshua Yasir looked at Ataf and shouted, "You're just acting like you are doubting Quran, aren't you, brother? You're trying to see if one of us will agree with you so you can shoot him in the head, right? Right, brother?" Ataf didn't respond. He looked like he didn't know how to respond. Muhammad Yeshua Yasir went on and shouted with fear building, "It's an act, isn't it? That stuff you're watching isn't making you doubt. You're just acting. You're just trying to act. Acting, aren't you? Acting to see if anyone will agree that what you're hearing is making you doubt Allah's religion. When all along you really don't doubt it at all, right? You're just testing us to see who might really be a kafir by agreeing with you in doubt so you can kill him. Ah, that's it, isn't it? You are secretly testing to see if any one of us has secretly left Allah's religion so you can kill them, right?" Atta looked scared. To try to change the subject, the young-looking Muhammad Ziad Hura Jabir, whom I'm cutting a throat to mime to Daniel, said, "Mime to cutting throat mime to Daniel said, everyone, don't hate the expression patootie in the air, for the more you hate it, the more you will think about such a horrid expression when you are in such a glorious position during prayer. Do you think of this phrase, patootie in the air, brother? Do you think of patootie in the air when you are in such a hallowed position? Asked one of his fellow Muslims next to him, Jabir, who said not to hate it, who said not to hate the expression, looked down as if ashamed. All the time, even when I'm not in such pious position, said Jabir sadly. I tell you, brothers, he is the Shaitan incarnate. I tell you, brothers, he is the Shaitan incarnate. Yeah. The Shaitan incarnate, brothers, said Mahbub Mazen, with terror in his eyes. And look how just playing his video has got us all stirred up. That's pure evil you are looking at, brother. Atta didn't respond to the guy's opinion. Instead, he made a gulping sound, closed his eyes, and scraped the top of the mouse with his finger again. The sub Neville continued with, and there is the hope that if Muslims can study Islam, really, truly study and see all the Quranic contradictions, satanic evil actions of Muhammad, like having sex with a 9-year-old, just being the tip of the troubling evil iceberg. Well, if they observe the stupid, crazy hadith sayings, like when the hadith says the sun asks permission of Allah to rise again, Atta shut off the video again and just sat there with his eyes closed, feeling horrible. Ziad Jabir looked frightened at Atif. He too heard the thing that made him turn it off, but was afraid to respond. Atif opened his eyes, looked shifty-eyed, made the video go back a bit, then hit the mouse again, making the digital image of the sub say, like when the hadith says the sun, quote, when the hadith says the sun asks permission of Allah to rise again after prostrating on the throne of Allah, that it might possibly keep Muslims from trying to fulfill Allah's desires, as explained in Quran 9, 111, 1 through 5, 29, 38, and 39, which is mainly killing and oppressing those who don't want to stop what they are doing 5 times a day, every day, for the rest of their lives, and having to put their patooties up in the air on prayer rugs to keep from paying the jizya tax. Atif said weakly with a feeling of despair. He said patootie in the air again. He said patootie in the air again. Damn him, shouted Muhammad Yesua Yasir at the wheel. Why? Why are you listening to him, brother? Why? The digital image went on with, jizya tax is what a non-Muslim has to pay under Sharia law, so they won't be killed for not doing such a compromising pose on a rug. If they don't pay the jizya, they have to look over their shoulders. More so after sacred months are past. Think, quote, making someone an offer he can't refuse, or think paying an evil bandit money to keep him from raping your wife. In other words, it might keep Muslims from killing those who don't submit to the will of Allah, like the Quran tells Muslims to do. Again, check out Quran 9, 111 in combination with 9, 1 through 5, 29, 38, and 39, and the fear it installs within the poor Muslim's mind if they don't kill in Allah's cause. For it is evil. For the Quran sets up deadly alienation between humans. It is Allah who desires and wishes that his followers kill any of those who don't submit and convert to Islam. Only if they, Atif said weakly, but didn't finish, knowing it would be a lie to say other words. He is such a liar, shouted Muhammad Ziad Jabir at at Atif. He is such a liar. See Quran 9, 111, and you'll see why the Twin Towers went down on 9/11/01, said the sub on video. And again, all his promised Muslims, what sounds like a slothful brothel in the sky, if they not only threaten, stalk, intimidate non-Muslims into not criticizing nor studying Islam, but tells Muslims to kill and be killed in the cause of Allah, that is, spreading Islam with a sword and setting up Sharia law, like the very Quran really tells Muslims to do as described in Quran 911. The Muslims will desperately fight to deny and say otherwise. The laptop was stopped again, this time by Ziad Hura Jabir, who mined throat cutting. He then made an angry outburst of, "Because we only kill those who deserve killing and aren't innocent. Oh, what a liar, Atif." Atif said softly in a monotone, "In Islam, you're only innocent if you're Muslim." The sub was allowed to continue with, "Again, this part of the much bigger project is pretty much just an experiment. There is the possibility it will be tossed into the trash. But then again, there is also the possibility it might be downloaded onto the likes of Dailymotion, LiveLink, Live Video, or whatever YouTube-like site you might have in mind. And maybe, however slight, it will give terrorist Islam a Monster Zero type ending. Look under Godzilla. So, it's all up to you and the one true God on where this thing goes, for what shape it is to take form. Do you throw it away, or do you download it to video sites? Sit back and see what effect it might have on the world's fastest growing religion, that is Islam. Which is it? What will it be? The choice here is yours. One more thing. If you feel the CD might be a virus to damage your computer, feel free to wait for a time your computer is obsolete. If you think it's a virus and don't care about your local library computer, test it out first at that library. You will see that it is harmless. Good luck, and may God guide you with this. The video ended. Yesua Yasir asked, "How many of these shaitanic CDs do you think that demon unleashed while trucking?" "I hate to guess," responded Mahbub in the middle of the van's seating. Atif just sat there. He looked like he was in deep thought. He then said, "I killed a man yesterday. I killed a man for giant, mile-wide imaginary asses. I killed a man yesterday to have an imaginary penis as big as a palm tree that never goes soft." Atta put his face in his hands and cringed. All the Muslims around him looked horrified. There was a new infidel amongst them. I think I'll end it here. Bye.